Welcome, everyone, to episode 16 of season 2 of San Antonio by Night. Tonight, our coterie, the host, has quite a number of things on their plate to take care of tonight, and so Amber and Velda will be going to Baron Delgado's meeting place with John, who has finished his recovery period and has rejoined everyone. Velda, since you're kind of spearheading the discussion with Baron Delgado, why don't you give us a little bit of insight into what you plan to do, what questions you plan to ask, what plans you have.
Well, as always, I go by ear, depending on what's happening around me. But the idea is to get him working with the other Baron. There needs to be a hole in the information network that needs to be plugged. And I intend to do that.
There's definitely an information gap. Seems that a notable Nosferatu named Bjor Duval has gone missing. And so perhaps you will be able to plug such a hole, or at least find someone who can. Amber, you've been left in charge of escorting young Velda to Baron Delgado's. What are your thoughts here?
My thought is that what were we doing at the meeting of the Barons if nothing's come of it so far? What was the rather untimely death of Rascal worth, and the annoyance that was dealing with Jameson worth if nothing's come of it? But maybe I can get a little bit of an idea on what Delgado was thinking. And maybe with the things that we've seen, he might maybe feel like there's a little bit of a fire under him to get moving. Because they're already here. We were meant to unite against them, and they're already here. Which means, if we have any hope of actually keeping this city, we need to start working together now. And, well, it seems like I'm not gonna have to be the one to bring it up. Which is good. It means I don't have to do the talking. It means the egg's not on my face.
Yes, it seems that young Velda is going to be spearheading this, so we'll see how that goes. John, you spent the last 4 days recovering from a smack in the face from a baton from an upstart Tremere.
Yeah, gotta admit, I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, normally it's all that hoogity boogity shit, but now apparently they're waving around batons like they're part of band camp or some shit. I don't know. All I know is that at this point I'm having to end up thinking this thing through. I'm talking to a few friends of mine. Got some ideas, see what's going on. Fact of the matter is that a lot of my understanding of the situation has kind of gone all to hell. So instead, I think I'm play this one by ear. Though, meeting with the Baron, doesn't that just sound delicious? We'll have to figure that one out when it happens, I suppose.
It seems that Urian Doyle has decided that no person should wander the streets alone at this point. With a danger like Hugh roaming around, who knows what could happen.
Yeah, well. Everybody walking around like psychopaths are suddenly new and trending. We've always been out there. So, besides, I have a bone to pick with somebody else right now. Seeing how it works out.
So, I would like everyone to roll arouse checks for the new night. John, that beast of yours in your belly is getting a little uppity. It wants a little bit of a snack. But otherwise, it's controllable. And the three of you are at the meeting place to meet up. It's cold for a September night, kind of rainy. Hurricane season should be starting soon. Lots more rain in the forecast. Seems there's an oncoming storm in both the Camarilla and the weather these nights.
Oh, I hope this place is hurricane ready. If it's not, oh boy. I don't want to be the one to have to explain to Yuri and why the roof of this place went flying off further into the fucking major park.
Yeah, because, you know, hurricanes are a new thing around here.
Yeah,
How could they have foreseen it? Oh dear God.
Glad to see that you're chipper.
Yes.
What's up, sweet cheeks?
Not much.
Yes,
How's your face?
Still making it looking prettier than you.
Truly.
But seriously. What's this shit about we're now here heading out to, fuck's his name?
Yes, we're going to go see Baron Delgado.
Well, that ought to be fun. Yay, more bootlicking.
John, I have a request for you.
He kind of waves his hand and on it. Go on.
Please be on your best behavior.
Oh, well, I will kindly end up acquiescing to every request that his lordship doth beseech upon my person, as I would hate to end up committing offense upon his generosity and the privilege of entering his domicile.
Oh, we're fucked, aren't we?
Like a $2 whore in Taiwan.
This is going to be interesting.
Okay. Well, you know, probably something else I should go and do. And that's when she's gonna head down to if he's still in the basement or if he's actually decided to move up into one of the rooms. I hope he's decided to move up into one of the rooms.
You're talking about Benji?
Talking about Benji.
Benji doesn't seem to be present. He might be out for the night.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, nothing we could do about it, I suppose.
Well, we did
I
pay a
can-
visit to Noche last night. I do believe he has some attachment to there.
La Medianoche, yes.
Yes.
Yes, he
That'll
does.
be fun. What's the deal with La Mede nachos?
Oh, it seems like your kind of place, John.
It's a bar.
Sufficiently filthy and incomplete.
Clearly, you don't know what kind of place I reside in. Alright. Okay, that's fine. We'll go with your assumption.
Oh no, it's fine. If Benji is out for the night, Benji is out for the night. I'm sure he could probably use some time now that he has his legs back, in a very literal sense, to blow off some steam. Let's just hope he doesn't blow off some steam like he did the last time.
Yes.
Now, I will get us to the meeting place so that we can have a talk with Baron Delgado, because I have some concerns that need to be raised.
Concerns?
I hope this isn't the case, but I just hope that the Baron isn't relying on Urian to get this done.
Oh, that's why I am deciding to be a go-between.
Oh, that's funny.
It's not a matter of being a go-between. It's more a matter of I hope he has something in place in case the unthinkable happens and Urian fails.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
Which is
he
why
will.
I am acting as a go-between. Talks
Such a
have
waste.
stopped between the barons, according to Batista.
Well, let's see why he clammed up then. Must be some reason.
Apparently they've been rather busy. So let's not make this a waste of his time.
Yeah. Like, I'm just here to get you there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, having a look at the time on her phone, Amber probably would begin would probably beckon the two to follow her out to her car so that, they can go and
Velda
meet
will
with
follow.
Baron Delgado.
The three of you drive. It's not a very long drive. Well, by any standards, really. It's fairly short, given that the traffic of the night is rather slow. The drive is uneventful, and you arrive at the meeting house of Baron Delgado. It's a nice place. It's upscale. It's very pretty to look at. It definitely is one of those richer establishments.
Something that I do not mind in the slightest.
It seems that Urian's opinion of Baron Delgado being an upscale man of the people is an apt description.
Ah, Delgado, a man with taste. I approve.
Well, I mean, he is a man with taste, considering, well,
It's too bright in here.
yeah.
Do you need a pair of sunglasses, John?
Nah, I'm pretty enough as it is.
No, you're right. We don't want to hide those lovely blue eyes of yours.
See, now you're getting it. Yeah, look at this place like you want it. What, you move in here? All that fine and dandy.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a place like this. But to say that I want it, no, there are things that I want. There are things that I wouldn't mind having, and then there are things that I want. This is one of the former.
No real difference to me.
It's pretty, but not my style.
I will go and greet the man of the house. And that's when we're gonna go up to the door, and I'm sure there's probably a doorbell.
And you ring the doorbell, and just as you pull your hand away to 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 look at it, to let the sound ring off, and it's a delightful sound, there is a man at the door who opens it almost immediately after the doorbell is rang. Miss Dupree.
Would I know this?
You would know this to be Alexander, Baron Delgado's ghoul.
Ah,
Some would say
Alec-
a left hand, if he didn't already have a right hand.
Alexander, good to see you.
It's a pleasure to see you, Miss Dupree.
Here to escort a couple who wish to have a little chat with our dear Baron.
Yes, the appointment has already been made. He will be down momentarily. You may wait in the foyer if you would like.
Thank you, Alexander.
And
You're
he
dead.
ushers all three of you into the house.
Ooh,
And
the foyer. How fancy.
Velda kicks John in the shins. Hush.
Merely acknowledging the upscale here,
You're,
ambiance.
you're being rude. You sound so sarcastic, and it's very rude.
Amber's internal thoughts right now is that Alexander is a breath of fresh air. If I could have a breath of fresh air, because I'm surrounded by children.
Alexander
That is-
simply smiles at John, gives a little bit of a bow, and makes his way off to whatever it is you assume a butler would do.
Buttling, I imagine.
Knowing when the bodies are buried, something like that. Well, now it is just time to wait for Miss Baron Delgado and all of the things that entails.
Yes, all that entails.
And you wait a couple of moments. And eventually, down the stairs, comes a man who is dressed very finely. Wears a suit with a bit of a fur collar on it, and comes down to greet you all. Pleasure to see you, Miss Dupree.
Amber would respond with a small bow. My Baron.
And
It is.
please.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you, my Baron, one Velda von Sventgal zu Altenburg, and one Mr. John Bell.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. He reaches out for a handshake to Velda.
Velda takes his hand and flashes him a winning smile and says, "The pleasure is all mine."
He then reaches to John for the same. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bell.
And to you, Baron Delgado. He grabs hold and shakes his hand firmly. I'm told that you were a man of impeccable taste. I suppose that's what this is. Being somebody who doesn't quite understand the concept himself.
Well, I try not to make a huge show of it, but such is the way of the Toreador.
Right. Well, it is a pleasure. Take a step back and lets Velda and Amber get to their business before he gets to his.
Would you follow me to the study? And he begins to walk through a door into another side room where you see a library. It has a fairly large collection of books and a desk with a and the room is lit with mostly lamps. It's not necessarily super bright as the foyer would be. It's more subdued, more intimate.
Stepping into the room and taking a glance around, what kind of books do I see on his shelf?
You see several shelves worth. It's not a terribly large library. It seems that most have some exterior binding on them. Go ahead and give me a wits plus awareness if you would like to know more.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving it there.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like there's anything of significance. Seems like it's mostly novels, maybe some nonfiction. None of them look terribly interesting, though. Some of them look pretty old.
So it could be assumed that they're mostly for show.
Some of them look used. Some of them look new.
That would make sense. She moves further into the room and says, "What a lovely collection you have."
Thank you, Miss von Schwenkauser-Altenberg.
Please call me Velda.
Very well, Velda. And he goes to the desk and sits in a fairly large leather chair, turns the lamp on, and ushers the three of you towards the seats in front of the desk.
Velda would take her seat.
Amber would as well.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So,
Baron Delgado,
yes.
I will try to keep this brief, as I've heard that you have been rather busy. There is a hole in the information network, as far as I've heard. Is this correct?
It's been slow going to get information. Yes. Why do you ask?
I would like to get talks between yourself and the other two barons running more fluidly.
How do you propose we
And
do that?
I will happily be a go-between.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Velda, but you are a member
Yes.
of Batista's domain, are you not?
I am.
And you offer this service freely.
Of course. I would rather have the barons speaking than the city be overrun by the true threat, which is the Camarilla.
Yes, well, if it wasn't for the fact that nearly all sides are missing people, I would say that that would be on the table currently. But I cannot rule out that one of the other baronies, Jameson perhaps, has seen to it that things stop by one of my couriers going missing.
This is Bure we're speaking of.
Yes, Bjor Duval.
Yes, I've heard that he went missing. What happened there?
I'm not entirely positive. His childer, Wolf, as his name is, has decided not to say anything, or doesn't know anything, and I cannot rule out either possibility. So, because he is refusing to cooperate, I am at a loss. So you understand my frustration.
I have organized a meeting already with, well, I have started preparations to begin a meeting with Baron Jameson through a Nosferatu by the name of Gabe. Are you aware of him?
Give me 1 second to look at his sheet. Gabe. That's not a terribly notable name. He's your contact in Jameson's domain.
Somebody that I met on the street while trying to find somebody who could get in contact. And he has offered to attempt to get in contact with Jameson. Apparently, Jameson is not easy to get in contact with.
Yes, I would imagine not. You have something to say, Mr. Bell?
I was kind of curious as to what makes him so hard to find. So, yeah, it's one of those things where gain an audience with yourself, fine gentlemen, seems to be relatively easy. Velda seems to be going for Miss Batista, but Jameson, what, he's gone to ground, marshalling his forces, what's going on there?
I am sure you haven't heard, then. One of his lieutenants was summarily executed for being a Camarilla spy. By the name Rascal. So you understand why I have issues even speaking with Nosferatu at this moment.
Yeah, well, I thought that was just a Toreador thing, but no, that makes...
That is understandable, my Baron. But I'd like to bring up something.
Yes, Mr.
As
Brady.
far as you say that everyone on all sides are missing people.
Seems so.
I may have someone in mind as to a possible culprit.
It wouldn't happen to be one of the people that's coming through Dallas.
No.
No.
If I believe I know what Amber is speaking of, are you talking about the one from New York?
Yes.
Ah.
That one was mentioned before, yes. Seems to be that on two fronts, the Camarilla's after specific individuals.
Yes.
This individual, his name is Hugh. He is of Clan Malkavian.
Malkavian.
He is apparently Scourge potential in New York.
Oh, isn't that just delightful?
And he has a very specific hatred against Anarchs. I should know, I was at the receiving end of a baton swing from him. And it hurt.
And you survived the encounter, Miss Dupree? I'm impressed.
Yes, we did survive the encounter, although it was not very pleasant.
Only because everything in my body...
No, go ahead.
Only because everything in my body screamed at me to run thanks to something he had done to my head.
Well, If I understand scourges correctly, they do not necessarily leave survivors. So you're lucky. Or he's been following you.
Well, I've been keeping an eye out and haven't seen him again. Considering that I spotted him last time, I'm not too concerned about that. He did express that he was not very good at hiding in the shadow. He does, however, have exceptionally sharp eyesight. So I believe he shares a Toreador gift with us.
Yes, well. Malkavians are tricksy, I suppose you would say. Very tricky individuals indeed.
And he seems to have carved himself a hole here in your domain.
Yes. I would imagine since Bjor Duval's domain is no longer being seen and no longer being observed, that they would find it very easy to come into this domain. And I'm sure that the other barons are going to be very, very angry with me, thinking that I am siding with them.
I'm sure the other barons are aware that everybody is having problems with them right now.
So
if I might, well, by all means, Baron Delgado.
How in the world do you propose that I correct this seeming blame that they're putting on me?
Before I attempt to answer that question, I must ask, where was Mr. Duval's domain located?
He's a neighbor of yours.
So it's a possibility that Mr. Duval has been taken out by this Hugh.
One would think that Wolf would come forward about something like that.
The fact that he didn't is particularly suspicious then.
Quite.
I thought to go speak with this Wolf character.
If you can get a hold of him, he's Nosferatu, after all.
I'm aware of the ways upon which you can be contacted. But no, it seems to me that given Wolf's apparent unwillingness to cooperate, there are two possible answers that I see. Sorry, three possible answers. That he himself has also... that he is defected, which I hope not. Wolf is actually quite the pleasant individual, despite his face. The other two are that he doesn't know that Björ has been removed from the table. Or the last one is that he is absolutely terrified to talk about it, which, given the encounter that I had with you, I wouldn't blame him.
So how do you propose that you're going to convince him to come forward? I've been trying with my own techniques, and it's been falling on deaf ears.
I don't know this gentleman, so perhaps a stranger's ear would be of assistance.
Feel free to try and speak with him if you would like. Please do not waste your time.
More to the point, though, this Hugh character.
Yes.
I was thinking, in order to get you barons working together on the same page,
as if I haven't been trying.
You all need a target to unify you. Something you can work together on.
Yes, I am well aware, Miss Velda.
So, Hugh seems like a perfect opportunity, no? If you are willing, that is.
Mr. Dupree, do you know what it is that I do
This is
for this
something that I
domain?
haven't. These are things that I haven't actually been filled in on. No, I've actually been very curious, and I thought to ask you these questions in a less serious context.
I am a go-between. I get involved when people cannot sort their own shit out. My job is to make sure that the local government does not get involved in our affairs. You're
So
not
what you're saying is,
Go ahead, Mr.
my,
Bell.
just so I understand the situation correctly, without you, every Tom, Dick, and Harry who might have got a little rambunctious in their evening dining might have got caught on, I don't know, random security cam at a gas station or something like that. You're the one directly stopping that shit. Do I understand that correctly?
That's part of my job, yes, Mr. Bell.
Well, then I salute you for your service to our kind, Baron Delgado, and I don't think anybody has ever formally thanked you for said service, to which I am very grateful.
Hear, hear.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. As a constituent of this domain, you are protected in that right.
True. But, well, this is the meeting with the ladies, though I would appreciate a word with you in private, as a constituent of the domain in particular concerns I feel should be laid to rest, but really should be a point of you explaining to me personally rather than it being made to sound as though it was an accusation. If you would flatter me.
Very well. Miss Velda,
Yes?
you still have not answered my question.
I'm sorry, I got so caught up. Which question was that?
What do you intend to do?
I intend to get you all on the same page. How that is done, well, I'm working on it. That's why I'm here, after all.
What I want done, Miss Velda, is I want this menace off my lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever anyone has to do in order to do that thing, do it. I don't care what it means. I don't care what it takes. Get this menace off my lawn.
Okay.
Understood, my Baron. It shall be dealt with.
I don't mean to sound like a dictator, but I am frustrated.
No, it is quite understandable, my Baron, that you would be frustrated with these sorts of things.
I would like to observe something, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to, wits insight,
Mm-hmm.
Because that little snap gives me the impression that he might be ready to, or the beast might be talking to him right now. Oh, and I will spend a willpower because I need to know. Derek dice.
Why is it that you are frustrated, besides the Camarilla? Surely that is not the only problem you are facing.
Miss Van Gelder Altenberg, I would like the Camarilla gone. Now. Yesterday, if I could have helped it.
Of course.
He's hard to read, John. He is composed, even if his words say otherwise. He's just raising his voice.
I would also like to insight that.
Go for it. Roll me a wits plus insight.
I'm also on the same, so I will offer
Individual
teamwork
rolls.
if I can.
Nope, individual rolls. Yep.
All right, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll happily individual roll. Yep, no, I don't have any. Don't have specialization. Hey, 2.
What you read from him is the frustration of a leader whose people are being obstinate. Going missing and being obstinate. And you definitely read a lot of concern in the raising of his voice. Because you think, potentially, he feels like he's wasting his time at this meeting.
Tell me, besides Bure, has anybody else gone missing from your domain?
As far as missing, not entirely. Wolf is refusing to cooperate, and so I have reason to believe that potentially he's just being an obstinate child.
Well,
so it's just Wolf and...
Worst case scenario, he's turning.
Well, hopefully we can pull him back.
As I said, feel free to waste your time with that if you feel it's necessary.
Well.
Well, I feel like it might be time to throw Benji and John together. This problem.
Right, because whenever it's a problem, it always ends up coming back to John to fix it. Got it.
I did say Benji as well.
Yeah.
But you are capable in this sort of thing.
Kind of looks across to Baron Delgado. His eyes narrow. You know, I could, I suppose. But I'm trying to understand a few things. I mean, really. Guess I'm just getting frustrated. You know what? I changed my mind. I thought it'd be important, but clearly I'm just here upsetting his baronship. I'm not here to do that. So, I will politely see myself out. Clearly what I have to say isn't important enough anyway.
Mr. Bell.
No, it's quite alright, dear Baron, I get it. It's a pleasure to meet you. And you clearly end up having a lot on your plate. I thought I had solutions, but apparently I'm just gotta go kill somebody. So, apparently
John,
that's what I'm good for, we're gone.
John, sit down and tell us what you are thinking.
Why? You don't want to know what I'm thinking, though.
Well, I do. If you think you have a solution, then please.
No, I have doubts. I have serious, heavy doubts.
Please voice your concerns, Mr. Bell.
Yes, I'm also quite interested.
I'm trying to end up keeping it to polite society. And polite society doesn't like shooting straight with you. So, if that's the case, and you want to continue with this circle jerk, then by all means, I'm gonna go get something done. Because I'm pretty sure you do not want to hear what I have to say.
Just say it, please.
Okay, fine. You want to end up here. Let me see. He checks to the Baron. Am I getting the go-ahead? Are you sure you want to hear this?
He gives you the go-ahead.
Alright. Ironically, my pizza's right here. Alright, let me see if I can do this entire thing. Well, the pizza man is currently giving me pizza. Okay. Let me explain something very, very simply, okay? I get it. You're trying to end up bringing them all together. You, Velda, you want to end up making sure that the three Barons are working in tandem in order to end up bringing this mess together because the Camarilla is knock on Delgado's front door. Okay, Baron Delgado wants the problem done. But right now, all I end up seeing is he's sitting here, maybe covering up a few little tidbits, but none of those tidbits are leading us in the right direction. So it kind of leads into this whole bit of I'm wondering who I need to end up burying. And unfortunately, it kind of ends up turning into this awkward moment where all I'm hearing is I want to end up bringing things together. That's fantastic, except no one has any idea. They say we need talks. Reality is that they've already started with action. So, without any action, I mean, really, what are we doing? We're waiting. We are waiting just to end up getting picked off one by one. You can't account for where the hell Bjor is. You can't account for what side Wolf's on. You are sitting here, concerned, and the only one I met that had a remote plan is Urian, and I don't trust him further than I can end up throwing a pickup truck. But right now, I feel like we ended up coming to this meeting, and the Baron feels like we wasted his time. I feel like I wasted my time, and any solution that I might end up offering, ultimately, is not something that's offered in polite society. Instead, it's, hey, let's get Benji and Wolf or John, or somebody else to do it, while we sit here pretty, but we don't do jack or shit. So it's gonna fall to me to end up doing something else. And then it's going to be, thank you very much for your service. And what's the reality? Reality is I'm your fucking garbage man. That's it. And I did not leave Chicago for this shit. I said I'd end up helping. And instead what I see is I'm have to end up sitting here with this circle jerk with 3 fucking Toreador, and not one of them am I convinced knows what they're doing. And I'm sorry, Delgado, you have not proven to me in any way that you are a competent Baron. I don't know what the hell you're doing. You're not telling me anything that I can use. I am just sitting here with my thumb up my ass, so if that's the case, there's the door. How about if I end up here seeing if I can find some better way to be useful? But I have this strange feeling that, despite my crude words, you might be feeling the same, just a little bit. There, I said it.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah, I tried confronting him once. I got my jaw beaten in for my troubles. I'd like to take this guy on, just simply get rid of him. I'd love nothing more than to see him staked.
How many domains back onto Bjor's?
How many domains?
Yes. Including Mr. Doyle's.
The domains that butt up against Bjor's are Damien's, Isabella's, and Sanctuary.
Isabella's Sanctuary.
And
Right,
Leon
well,
Valley, if you count it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and count it. We have our injection point for the poison. It means we know where it's going to spread to next.
In which case,
Sanctuary.
Damien and Leon Valley are the places that we need to look at. Isabella's already been spoken to.
Right.
Is this what you wanted to hear, John?
He just kind of shrugs and shakes his head. I'll call it a start. Right now, I don't know what to think.
Clovis and Castille are overseeing Leon Valley and the medical center. Damien's over at UTSA.
Well then, those will be our stops.
Okay.
If they've seen something, they've seen something. If they haven't, they need to be aware that an exceptionally unhinged individual is running around, at the very least, beating the crap out of people, if not setting them to their
Here's a
final
better
deaths.
thought.
Yes.
We get them to take their combatants and send them all in.
Send them all in.
Just
where?
take this fucker out. To take out Hugh. Clearly he's a problem and needs to get off your lawn. So that's how we do it.
He's attempting to grow roots, so we'll use a shovel.
Then be the shovel.
It shall be done.
When you're ready to end up talking, when you think you gotta leave, think that there's something that might have skipped your mind. Baron Delgado pulls out a card, places it down. Talk to my secretary, they'll arrange a place where we can sit and have a chat. A little bit of a chin wag, because that seems to be the only thing that's going on here. Once they end up telling me a target, then I'll end up removing it. I hope that is at least appreciated. And John just kind of starts walking off. Doesn't give a shit anymore. Somebody wants to prove that they're Baron. Step up or shut up. He says this a little bit under his breath, but he's not hiding it much. And I believe that is a manipulation subterfuge.
Go ahead.
And willpower. 4 successes.
Okay. And are you purposely trying to lie to someone specific?
I'm specifically baiting. Go ahead. Do something. Give
Baiting
me a
him into
call.
taking action.
Show me you're anything but a useless Baron by proxy and by name. Tell me you're better than Urian Doyle.
Ooh. Okay. He's gonna try an insight check you to see through that. Let me see something here, actually. Oh, here we go. Do you have something to say, Mr. Bell?
John just keeps on walking. Just keeps on walking. Emphasizing more importantly that Delgado is in fact losing control by just sitting and chatting.
Amber just pinches the bridge of her nose and just like,
Velda just lets out a sigh and rolls her eyes. Baron Delgado.
Yes, Miss Velda.
I'm going to ask if it's all right if I let Baron Batista know what's going on here. During my next meeting with her. Same as I will be getting information about what's happening in her domain and passing it on to you.
What is currently going on in her domain, Miss Velda?
Right now, I'm not sure.
Seems like too many people don't know.
That's what I'm trying to fix.
And that's exactly why I think that they're behind all of this. Blind the eyes, deafen the ears, mute the tongues, and no one knows anything. And ignorance, for them, is bliss. As we sit unawares, and they sneak up behind us.
That's the last thing we need.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
And hopefully, I'll be able to get in contact with Jameson.
I hope you have an idea of a better forum than this, Miss Velda. Because
Not particularly.
this sneaky go-between seems not to be working.
Does it? We'll see. At the moment, you're the first one that I've spoken to concerning this. I know Baron Batista is concerned, but that's about it. So if I can get you and her talking, at least that's a start. Correct?
He stands up from his chair and straightens his coat a little bit. Fine.
Your cooperation is appreciated.
Tell Batista whatever it is you think that she needs to know about what's going on in my domain. If you spread any information saying that I am a Camarilla conspirator, I will have your head.
I will kill her myself if that happens, my Baron.
I don't believe any of the barons are conspirators in this. I believe people working for them, maybe.
If you believe that none of those other two, aren't conspiring against me, then you have another thing coming.
I didn't say that they weren't conspiring against you. I simply said I didn't think that they were working with Camarilla influence.
My Baron, I have a question for you.
Yes, Miss Dupree.
Have you ever heard of the concept of McCarthyism?
Remind me as the ST what that is.
So McCarthyism is basically the drumming up of hysteria by an outside force in an organization to turn them against each other. A good example of this is the Salem witch trials, where girls went around screaming, "They're a witch! They're a witch! They're a witch!" and people just started lynching people left and right because they were scared. It's the drumming up of hysteria amongst members of an organization, causing them to turn on each other and start lynching wildly due to paranoia, due to, I don't know who I can trust. And in this case, it's, I don't know who's a Camarilla agent, I don't know who's not, I don't know who's conspiring against me, I don't know who's not.
It's an everyday
Someone?
concern as a baron.
Yes, but it seems to be ramping up to a degree that makes it more than just an everyday occurrence. I'm sure you have, you always have your concerns regarding Batista and Jameson. What are they doing to conspire against me? Because they must be, because in a city of 3 barons, someone is going to always try and conspire against the other 2 to try and gain more power for themselves. That's just the essence of the power struggle. But this is to a point now that more has been added. More volatility has been added to the pot. And I have the very sneaking suspicion that both from those in Dallas and from those in New York, that is exactly what both of those sides desire. Why take us out if we tear ourselves apart, and all they have to do is agitate it a little bit?
That thought has crossed my mind.
Given what I have seen and what I've seen over the past few nights and what I've heard tonight, I would say it's a little more than a thought. I'm thinking that that's exactly what's going on.
Well, forgive me if I'm not a psychologist and know how to calm paranoid people. But I will do my best.
If you can. That's not the big thing here. The big thing here is, as John so very bluntly put it, finding the source of the agitation, which I'm sure we all know what that is, and beginning to remove it. And as Velda has started to try and do, get you and Jameson and Batista talking again about the agitation in the pot. This city is the pot, and unfortunately, if everyone doesn't come to the table, we might not get all of the cancer that's trying to slip inside it.
If I
So we're going
might,
to try.
the balance between you 3 barons is precarious at best, but all 3 of you are necessary. So, if you cannot trust each other to function in each of your domains, things become unstable. And that instability runs down the line. We start losing people left, right, and center. And the Camarilla takes root. Which is what's happening.
Which is what's happening.
So, Batista and Jameson and you. We'll figure something out.
We will get you back to the negotiating table. And once that has happened, we will identify it.
I'm going to take something out of the Camarilla book, as much as it pains me to do it. We need an Elysium. Somewhere where anyone can go, that anyone can talk. But that's going to take time.
Neutral ground.
Yes.
You know, I quite like the sound of that.
I hadn't actually thought of that. But then again, Camarilla things and Camarilla concepts are not really the first thing that come to my mind when I think about how to deal with a problem. But you are exactly correct. I think we will...
A public forum.
Yes, we will endeavor to get this done. It will take time, but what is worth a prize is worth a fight, as they say.
Indeed.
That is something I can take to Batista.
I doubt that Jameson will be all that thrilled, but if the initial talks were of any benefit to any of us, perhaps something similar happening again would be ideal.
Perhaps as a regular occurrence might be best.
Just a very quick question out of character.
Mm.
What do I know about Jameson as far as his interests are his like basic public interests are concerned?
That's an intelligence politics.
In intelligence politics? Well, for me, it's an intelligence arse roll. Should probably buy some intelligence politics.
You know he's Brujah, and most Brujah, from your understanding, don't like the Camarilla at all, as far as an institution. Think it's a little controlling. And so it makes sense that he's an Anarch Baron. But as far as his personal interests go, you
I
really
wasn't looking
don't
for his
know.
personal interests, just looking for his public interests. Like, do I know if he's a military man?
You
Like,
know
as
that
far as he controls.
you know that he does have a lot of sway. His whole barony has a lot of sway in the military.
Sorry. Okay. Well, I figure to have sway in the military, you gotta have that kind of mindset. So maybe I can come up with a way to sell this idea of an Elysium to that Velda can take to sell this idea to Jameson, because of course he's not going to be happy. But to put it in the right way, anyone will take anything. These are things that we will work on doing.
If you need resources, they're at your disposal.
Thank you.
Thank you for your generosity, my Baron.
And
Now,
thank you for your time.
yes.
Just make it all work. Let's make it all work. Well, I have other things to get to.
Yes. We shan't take up any more of your time. Thank you for meeting with us tonight, my Baron. We hope that the rest of the night finds you well, and that the next time we talk, we have good news.
Yes. Any news at all, really. And he goes to leave the study.
Velda will go to leave altogether.
Yep. Amber will follow.
And you see that Baron Delgado goes up the stairs to what you assume is an office of some kind, possibly, and disappears from sight. And as you leave the building, John is there waiting for you.
Well, that was productive.
Exceptionally.
Now, let's see what we can do with this wolf character. We also need to speak with Batista. But that could be done. I want to find out exactly where this wolf stands. Which pack has he decided to go with?
Yes. To make his allegiance clear. Mr.
If
Bell.
you can tell me how to find him, I think it is best that we split up.
Yes.
Someone needs to go to UTSA, and somebody needs to go to Clovis and Steele.
I can speak with Clovis and Steele. But I will get you in contact with both. But Mr. Bell,
What?
you'll be happy to know that we've got something in mind.
Goody. So, who we talking to next?
I just said.
Yeah, I heard you say that you wanted to end doing a bit of globetrotting. What do you think? Should we also go talk to Theo? You know, it's a big name press around here.
They need to be talked to make sure that the Camarilla hasn't spread into their domains. We need to know how far it's spread. Meanwhile, that's just one part. That's just one side of things. The other side of things is that we need to make neutral ground.
God.
And the third is that we're going to consolidate forces and become a shovel so that we can scoop out this plant that's decided to take root on how Delgado put it, Delgado's lawn.
Right,
just
go
want-
find Hugh, remove him from the board. Got it.
Yes, but we're not going to make you go alone in that, John.
Yeah, whatever. Just get me over there. I'll do what I can to kick his ass.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
No,
yet.
not yet.
Okay, so we're just gonna let the shit fester. Alright.
Oh no. Oh
Well,
no.
if you don't get rid of all the roots, the plant just resprouts.
Last thing we want is that motherfucker coming back so that you have to kill him again.
Or worse, others that he's made friends with. Sound like a thought?
I'm sorry, I thought that was a rhetorical question.
Shall we go?
I must say that I've missed your sense of humor, John.
Wasn't a joke. Look. I'm playing to your song at this gunpoint, not like I got much choice. Tell me what the hell needs to be done. That's it. But you'll pardon me if I don't see the big picture. I'll say at this point, it feels more like babysitting.
Consider this the painting into a corner phase of the operation. After he's in that corner, you may wail on him to your heart's content.
Once it's painted into a corner, I may wail on him to my heart's content. I'll keep that in mind.
Right. So, we should get onto this immediately. First things
Yes.
first, though, I need to drop you off at the meeting house, Velda.
Yes.
And, that's what Amber is gonna do if, John's gonna follow along.
The three of you are headed to the meeting house. Doesn't take terribly long.
Gonna go back to the meeting house. I'm going to do exactly as Urian did. Draw the wolf on the, it's a blackboard, I believe?
It's a little, like a school slate, like an old school slate.
Yep, so basically it's a blackboard. Draw the requisite symbols. that wolf and a rose. And tell Velda exactly what Urian told me when I was wanting to meet Wolf.
All right.
Which is
Don't be confrontational.
I had
Don't
no
be confrontational with
intentions.
him. He ain't that kind of guy, and if you do, he's gonna get pissed, and you cannot take him on. He's bigger and tougher than you are.
So I keep hearing.
And the next bit will be after that's sorted out. John, you can choose to come with me, or you can choose to stay behind. But I'm going to go find Clovis and Steele and talk to them.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be sticking near the house. Biggest reason is I'm gonna go check in with my secretary. See if Delgado, see if he finally found his pair or not.
Okay. Well, then I will be going alone to speak to Clovis and Steele.
Who the hell's Clovis and Steele?
So, in that, we will be going our separate ways to do our separate things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's where we're going to take a quick break and come back when with everyone going their separate ways, to go and speak with the individuals of the domain. Be right back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 16 of season 2 of San Antonio by Night. Amber has decided to take it upon herself to get in contact with a few kindred who have made their claim of the UT Medical Center in near Leon Valley, a little town in the inside of San Antonio. So just on the other side of that, the meeting has been set up. Clovis has indeed said that he will meet you. And Dr. Castille, when you tell him that you would like to meet, he does say that he will be a little while.
Okay, that's fine. I am, however, going to, on my way through, I am going to stop by my haven and, get changed, get into one of my disguises, because the last time I was here...
Yes. The last time you were here, you were the last person seen in Hannah Duncan's room.
Oh, last non-doctor. Because there was
Yes.
a doctor. There was a doctor in there. But no, I'm just gonna get into one of my disguises, you know, wig, a little bit different makeup, different clothes, all that.
And I'm sure you've told Clovis that this is the appearance you will don.
Yes. Yes. They will both be aware of the appearance that I will have.
Okay. And so, outside the hospital, in one of the larger parking lots, you are waiting for this Tremere.
Yes.
What are your thoughts as you're waiting for him?
The Tremere. Baron Delgado called the Malkavians tricksy. But in my mind, the Tremere are even more so. They can do things that I haven't seen any other kindred able to do. Somehow. I don't get it. But if Urian is any thing to go off, as far as Tremere are concerned, I need to be careful. Because the last thing I need is to try and simply pass on some information and end up with a stake through my chest.
And before long, you do see an older gentleman, gray hair, glasses, a purple shirt. He seems to be walking towards your vehicle.
And I would look up to see him approaching.
Miss Dupree.
You must be Clovis. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. It's a shame that I don't come here on good news.
Well, what kind of bad news do you have?
Well, I don't know if it has made the rounds yet, but the information network, at the very least, the part that spreads through our shared domain is, I have to say, somewhat compromised. There are people missing. Information isn't getting to the right places when it should. And I thought to come here and tell you, if you weren't already aware, about some things that are going on just a little ways over, that are exceptionally concerning. Now, just as a question before I continue out of character, the church where we met Hugh, is that on
That's
on
in Beer's
what was
domain.
that was on Beer's domain?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mr. Duval, Beer,
Mm-hmm.
is missing.
I was wondering why I hadn't heard from him in a month.
No one has any idea where he is, and so far his child Wolf has been uncooperative.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Furthermore, a tumor has taken root in Beer's domain. The Camarilla.
Do you know who specifically?
A Malkavian by the name of Hugh comes from New York. Unhinged, exceptionally dangerous individual.
And you see him visibly sigh. I was
I'm
afraid of
guessing
this. I was afraid of this.
I'm guessing you know. You know of Hugh.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, Miss Dupree. But Hugh and I, well, Hugh's sire and I, were very familiar once.
No, I hadn't been told that.
I'm from New York.
Then I needn't say any more on him.
He's dangerous, and you need to stay away from him.
Oh, I already know that. In dealing with some personal business of mine, I encountered him, and it ended up with him doing something to my head and clocking me in the jaw with a baton. I still
And
wonder
you
who the
walked
hell
away.
carries it. Only because I ran. I didn't walk away, I ran away. I ran to my car, I got in, and I floored it away. I didn't walk. If I had walked, I wouldn't have left. I would most likely be a pile of dust. So I am aware firsthand of how capable Hugh is.
Did you come here by yourself?
Yes.
And he starts to look like he's concerned.
Is there something following us?
I don't know. I'm going to see. And he is going to roll a Sense the Unseen roll. No, there's nothing here.
I unfortunately haven't learned that little trick just yet.
You should. Soonest
I really
availability.
should. I really should.
He's not one to be trifled with.
No. But, at the very least, something I know is that he's not very good at hiding.
We at least have that advantage.
We do, however, his sight is too good, which is a pain, rather large pain. But I digress. I think he's taken root in Beer's domain, and whilst I don't have any substantiation for this, I think Hugh was the one who got rid of Beer.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Word
Wouldn't
is
surprise
that
me at
all the
all.
barons. The word is that all the barons have been losing people left, right, and center.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all.
No. But I do have a question for you, Clovis. You said that I was lucky to get away from you.
Yes. He wielded enough power and was unhinged enough to make his own sire paranoid about him. It's half the reason that she fled New York.
That's a concern. Because if I did get away, and you say that that's the case, why?
To toy with you? Cause you to go mad? He's not exactly above doing that.
Yeah. See, the thing is that I'm, as far as he's concerned, I'm not liable to go mad.
Are you sure about that?
It depends on how you define madness. I currently wish for him to be driven before me. He hurt me and I want revenge.
Be careful that that doesn't cloud your judgment.
It's why I'm deciding to go about it the way that I am. That I muster everything that I can to scoop him out roots and all. I do wish his vengeance. I do wish to wreak my vengeance upon him. But, as they say, measure twice, cut once. I don't want to have to deal with this more than absolutely necessary.
And you said he's in
But
Beer's domain.
He is in Beer's domain. Last when I encountered him, he was hanging around the church. He's also got his claws in Father Trent. However, whether the father is even still alive, I'm not sure. I don't think he would have liked to have been spotted, so I'm not too sure on that one. I haven't been daring enough to go back.
Well, what do you need from me?
Your awareness. Vigilance. Because if he did this to Bure,
Oh, I have no doubt that he would wreak some personal vengeance on me.
Bure's domain was the injection point, and there are two. There are three domains that border his. Yours. This one right here. Damien's in Sanctuary. So if he's going to move anyway, he's going to be moving to one of those three. And I know the last thing that you would want to do is try and deal with Urian.
I have reason to believe he'd come after me personally.
Well, then it would be then your vigilance in knowing that you may be his next target is a good thing. It means
I
if
need to get
nothing else-
myself out of here.
Yes, and it also means that we might be able to better track his movements. If nothing else. But yes, you getting yourself out of here is a good idea.
When you have a chance, please tell Mr. Doyle I have something for him.
I will be sure to do so.
He'll find it very useful.
I'm sure he will, and at this point, I think we need all the help we can get. The barons grow concerned, Delgado grows frustrated.
Understandably so.
They're trying to stir up hysteria. And if it works, there's going to be a very marked point of no return. You seem like a decent individual, Clovis.
I try.
If it does reach that point, there'll be nothing that any of us can do for the city.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Let us hope. I do hope that this be solved and we can get a little bit of unity in the domain. For all the things going on now, I think we need it.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. I should get to it then.
Yes.
Thank you for the information, Miss Dupree. It has been most enlightening.
You are welcome.
Stay
I hope
away
you
from
stay
Hugh.
safe.
Keep
Oh,
your
I'm
eyes
going
peeled.
to. Of course.
We don't need to lose any more people.
No, we do not.
Before long, Clovis is still standing there with you, but you do see another man starting to walk toward you.
Ah. My other meeting is here.
And Clovis looks over to him. Ah, Dr. Castille. Mr. Clovis. My goodness. Seems like we both had an appointment.
Yes.
Oh, don't let me interfere, Clovis says, and he begins to walk away. Kind of looking back and forth everywhere because he seems a little bit more paranoid at this point.
Yep. I would also say, Clovis, that to remember that unity is important in these times.
Yes. Have a good night, both of you.
And you as well, Clovis. And with that, she would then turn to Dr. Castille. Sorry to keep you.
That's quite all right. I was the one who was late.
Now, it is a shame that we meet on such dire terms, but there are some things that I think you need to be brought up to speed on.
All right.
As far as I am aware, the information network, at the very least here in Delgado's domain, has been compromised. Buer is missing, and his child is uncooperative. And in Buer's domain, lurks an agent of Camarilla.
I'm sorry, say that again.
In Buer's domain lurks an agent of the Camarilla.
Aha. Well.
Whilst there is no substantial evidence, it is believed that this agent may have been the one to dispose of Buer. That's why he's missing. However, take that with a grain of salt, as we have no substantial evidence of it as of yet.
All right.
I will give you the information that I know on this individual, and would say that to indubitably stay away from him, as he is exceptionally dangerous. His name is Hugh, Clan Malkavian. He hails from New York, and is potential scourge material in New York. And has a very distinct hatred of anarchs.
I see.
I would suggest keeping your eyes peeled and your ears open, as his presence is exceptionally concerning, and considering that this is one of the domains that borders Buer's, that this might be somewhere where he comes next.
And you have reason to believe this?
I do. Why would someone with a hatred of anarchs go ahead and try and cross the city into a different domain when there are people right here that he can move? There's one of three options. This domain, the domain belonging to Damien, and Sanctuary belonging to Yuri and Doyle.
Yes, Yuri and Doyle.
I've seen Sanctuary. Him attempting to get in there is dangerous at best.
So what you're recommending then is for me to leave?
I'm recommending that you keep your eyes and ears open, and that if you see him make sure that he doesn't see you, although given the fact that his eyes are especially sharp, that's going to be difficult. And try and observe from a distance. You need to know where he goes, what he does. Because if we're going to get rid of him, he can't slip through the cracks.
Well, if Sanctuary plans on taking on this threat, then I wish you all the luck.
It's a little more, but thank you. But
Who is
I
he
simply
after?
thought that you should-
Why would he come to
His
this
final-
domain?
His final target? I'm not sure. I don't have any information to clean that off of. All I know is that he smacked me in the face really, really hard with a baton. And I've been questioning ever since who carries a baton in a church.
How brutish.
Yes, quite. But no, I simply thought that you should be aware that considering information isn't passing as freely as it is these days, that you don't get blindsided.
And Clovis is another individual that you've spoken to about this?
Yes.
Hmm.
I do know that two are not on the best of terms, but
We're basically fighting for the same domain.
yes. However, at the moment, not to put down your fight, but in comparison, it is a petty grievance. A bigger wolf has bared its fangs.
I'll bear that in mind.
I would hope that you do. But thank you for your time, Dr. Castille.
Should you need anything, I'll be here.
I will make sure to keep that in mind. Thank you.
Send Isabella, my love.
I shall.
And with that, he begins to walk away.
And Amber will hop in her car and drive off. And while she is, she's thinking, how does he know that I know Isabella? How does he know that I know that I've even met Isabella?
Who knows?
As that little concern sets in, might be something to share with Velda. Speaking of, Amber will probably give Velda a ring and say that she's gonna come and meet up with her.
For now, we are going to cut back to Velda, because she is also on
Yes.
the road right now. With John. The two of you are headed north to the far side of Baron Delgado's domain towards UTSA, the main campus of the University of Texas here in San Antonio. One of 3 UT campuses. But it seems that Damien has made his roost near the college, so far as you know.
Yes, so far as I know.
And you've set up the meeting. And he takes a few minutes, but he does meet you fairly quickly.
Mr. Damien, I presume?
Damien McCarthy, yes.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Velda.
Pleasure to meet you, Velda.
And this is my associate, John.
So,
What can I do for you? I'm rather busy.
I would assume so. You do run this wonderful domain. With that in mind, tell me, have you heard from Mr. Buer?
No.
Mr. Buer
It's
Duval?
been a while.
That would make sense, as Mr. Duval has gone missing.
Actually, I'm a little up to date on that particular part. Word's getting around that he's missing. Our good Baron
Have
has
you
actually
heard?
informed me.
Have you heard anything else?
Not currently. It is... From my understanding, Buer Duval is Nosferatu, yes?
Yes, from my understanding.
You haven't thought to check with them?
His child is uncooperative.
There are other Nosferatu in this city.
And the Nosferatu seem to be... Well, at the moment they are not exactly trusted, as far as I can make out. But more to the point, the reason I come to you this evening is due to the fact that there may be Camarilla influence involved.
As far as Buer's disappearance.
Yes.
Right.
There is a man named Hugh who has made himself at home in a church within Buer's domain.
Great.
There have been efforts made on the part of those residing in Sanctuary to shift Hugh to no success yet. And I was hoping that perhaps you might be interested in setting up a network of sorts with your neighbors.
Yes, a network.
Call it a web to trap a fly.
that's a pretty big fly you got in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, I suppose that's the information we need to end up giving. What we gotta do, we gotta ask Damien, what exactly do you... I'm just kind of curious.
What do I do?
Kind of shrugs.
I'm the eyes and ears of this domain. And
Wonderful.
the fact that things went off the radar does not bode well.
Nah, those don't. But that's funny. It can get very funny.
Oh,
Still. Oh, I was just thinking on how everything seems to be going south these days. Everybody's telling me that they don't know. I'm kind of curious, who's actually out looking?
for Buer?
Just in general at this point. You're... Cammy. Hell, Father Christmas. Knowing somebody's out there looking for the fat old jolly man. Haven't been seen in the North Pole in ages. You know how it is.
I suppose we were hoping for the best in that he'd gone to ground, but apparently that's not the case. So, looks like it falls on my shoulders to lighten the load of this whole domain. And that is exactly what I have been doing.
I would encourage you to reach out to your neighbors.
What makes you think that I haven't already?
It's an assumption.
She just
Particularly
improves or assumes incompetence until proven less.
Not necessarily. I just don't know what you haven't done. As for Hugh himself, perhaps some information will assist. He's a man who is Malkavian. Apparently used to be, apparently has been looked at as scourge material amongst the Camarilla. Dangerous man to be sure.
As any scourge should be.
Apparently he's also very crap at hiding.
You don't need to be very good at hiding in order to eliminate a target.
And he has eyes as sharp as a hawk's.
Makes sense. Based on his clan. This isn't new.
It's not new, but it gives you an idea of where he's at. He also is very unstable, I think even by a Malkavian's standard.
That's bold.
It is, but he has trouble staying on one subject for too long. Seems to flit back and forth. And he's also extremely aggressive. I know this from witnessing one of my clanmates get her face beaten in.
Then I will definitely keep my eyes and ears to the ground to make sure that nothing slips past.
I appreciate it. And if you need to get in contact with me, and she gives him her number, it would be good to keep eyes and ears open and for information to be shared where it may.
I'll keep that in mind.
Is there anything that you need from me while I'm here?
Not particularly. I suppose I should be asking the same from you.
Just what I've already discussed with you. I wish to make you aware. And I truly appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for that information.
Hopefully, we can work together on getting rid of this scourge.
Yes. The sooner the better.
Indeed. Do you have anything to add, John?
Nah, I think you're doing fine.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Damien.
And you as well, Velda.
See you soon, dude.
And he begins to walk away.
Okay. Wonderful. Now that that's been done. I think I need to speak with Fox.
Hey,
You don't seem too happy with that.
look, I'm just the tag along. I get it. Let's go.
Is there something you would like to do, John?
Yeah, I'd like to end up ripping his head off. I'd like to end up going out and finding you and you. Yeah, trying to end up near seeing if his spine could be used as a pole vault. I don't know. I thought
Would you
maybe
like to drop around the church then? Try your luck.
we're playing it your way. I ain't got no say in the matter. I just wait until somebody complains loud enough that the problem hasn't been solved yet, and then I do something about it.
Well,
So let's go talk to this fox. I'll make a few phone calls and see what comes up.
I appreciate it, John. Truly.
Yeah.
So lush it is.
Okay. So the two of you,
And she's gonna buzz Amber as well.
it seems you both had the same thought in mind because you're already getting a call from Amber.
Yep. She lets Emma know that they're going to Lush.
And that's where Amber will meet him.
And to Lush it is.
Ooh, new picture.
Yeah, I like that actually better.
Nice.
Yes.
Love it.
So, you come to Club Lush, where most anyone who's anyone in the sanctuary domain can now be found. So, you said you want to meet with Fox.
Yes, I would like to speak with Little Fox.
They're not hard to find. They kind of are just perusing around the dance floor, kind of enjoying themselves, and are really just having fun. Seems that they enjoy being here.
Velda is going to step up behind her and just, them and tap them on the shoulder.
And they kind of spin around and look at you.
Velda
And-
gives her a sweet smile.
And
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering if I might have a word with you.
Okay. Do you want to go somewhere private?
That would be wonderful.
Okay. And so they start to lead you towards one of the balcony lounges to have a private conversation.
Yep.
In the meantime,
Velda.
Amber and John, what are you doing?
Gonna sit and relax for a bit because, oh god.
You're relaxing anytime, anywhere particular? Like towards the dance floor? You're going up to the lounge? What are we doing?
Probably going up to the lounge.
And John?
Well, I suppose I might end up looking around. Mostly, I think I'll end up hanging out with Amber. Mostly because I need to end up keeping the fuck away from that goddamn Tremere kid. Right now, I just want to tear his heart out of his ass. But I'm trying to be sociable.
Trying. But Velda, you take Fox up to a private room, and Amber and John are in their own little room in the lounge. And Fox kind of looks at you nervously. What did you need to speak to me about?
Well, first of all, I don't think we've been formally introduced. My name's Velda. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Fox. It's nice to meet you. Um, you're new.
Yes, I am.
I,
Benji mentioned that we might have a mutual contact.
a mutual contact?
Do you know a Nosferatu that goes by the name of Gabe from Jameson's domain?
I know a Gabriel. Gabriel Suarez.
Gabriel Suarez.
Yeah. Why? What did he do?
Oh, nothing. I've just asked him to get in contact with Jameson for me. I was just wondering if you might be able to tell me a little bit about him.
Um, I don't know how much I could share. Um, he doesn't like
Just,
he doesn't like other people talking about him.
well, that's fair. I was just hoping to get a little bit of information about him. Just simply because I've we're in a precarious position.
Is he in trouble?
No, not at all. I just want to make sure that by asking him, I haven't made a mistake.
I don't think so. He's pretty reliable. He's good on his word. From my
I'm
experience,
glad to
anyway.
hear it. He's good on his word. Okay. I will definitely trust you in that part. He definitely caught me by surprise. He's very, very good at what he does.
Yeah, he's very good at hiding.
Indeed, I didn't spot him until he showed himself. Damn near scared the shit out of me. I almost said life, but then I realized I didn't have any life left.
Right.
It's nice to see you smiling. You have a very sweet smile.
I try.
Well,
I've been told it's one of my best features.
it definitely is wonderful. You have a very cute face.
Yeah, lots of people tell me that too. It's kind of how I go about things.
Oh,
Never mind.
never mind. Very well, I won't pry. Tell me, Fox, how aware are you of what's actually happening?
Vaguely.
Just around the place.
I I mostly spend a lot of my time here because of the simple fact that it's pretty easy feeding grounds, and you know, Carlos is nice and Urian's pretty nice, and I mean, he's the one who gave it to us, so
That's fair. Do you hear many rumors through here?
are you talking about like just random rumors that I hear from like people?
Kindred rumors.
I don't know that that happens a lot here. I'm usually pretty good at gathering rumors, but I haven't really. I mean, aside from what Urian's already told me about what's going on, I don't really hear much else.
That's fair.
I mean, if you wanted the latest celebrity gossip, I could go on and on about that. That's not even an issue because most everybody who comes through here is on about something like that.
That's fair. Perhaps I should give you my social media contacts.
I suppose.
Are you into fashion?
I am more of an academic.
Smart and pretty. That's admirable.
I was a chemistry major before, this happened.
That's impressive. What kind of things do you do with your chemistry?
Not a lot anymore. I can't keep going to school. I am just kind of a leaf on the wind.
But surely that knowledge comes in handy sometimes.
Sometimes.
How are you on explosives?
Explosives.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that I've ever built one before. But I understand. I mean, I'm a chemistry major who hasn't had lit some chemicals on fire. I just don't do it anymore because fire's really scary.
Fire is terrifying. I'll give you that. But I simply ask because that's a skill that could be quite handy in future.
They just give you a little bit of a side eye. What do you need explosives for?
Nothing at the moment. I'm just thinking about the future.
Right.
Skills like that are always useful. That's all. Well,
Okay.
I should let you get back to it.
Yeah. Were you wanting to get in contact with Gabriel?
No, it's fine. He's got my number if he needs me.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you so much, Fox. Truly.
You're welcome. And they then leave the lounge area in which you are sitting.
Sweet. Velda is gonna head back down to join the other two now.
They're in their own private room currently.
Okay.
Amber and John, did you want to say anything before Velda arrives?
If John has something to say.
No, he's just keeping quiet, sitting there watching. Might notice that it keeps eyeballing the thin bloods.
I'm just imagining.
John? You seem to be eyeballing Alphonse and... Did they do something to you?
Yep. He kind of tilts his head and cracks his knuckles, like as if he's just trying to relieve stress. Maybe the beast is working overtime tonight. Right now, my job is to walk hand in hand with you ladies to end up getting to where you need to go. Hope that all the chin wagging can end up accomplishing something. And if I'm really lucky, something goes south tonight, and I get to have my fun.
Yes, but that doesn't answer my question.
Sure did. I said yes.
What is it that they did? Because, I mean...
And now you're just asking the embarrassing shit.
Embarrassing? How so?
The kind where I'm probably gonna skin him alive and bury him in a salt mound. Kind of embarrassing. And anybody keeps asking stupid questions.
Can I put 2 and 2 together from this that whatever they did, it wrecked John's shit?
He doesn't want to talk about it. That's what you do know.
Yeah.
Yep. The poking and prodding is probably just gonna make him mad.
Well, I won't press any further about it. Interesting.
Look, like I said, Delgado's, what the fuck are you guys doing? I don't like being penned up. I don't like waiting. I don't like here just sitting with this measuring. I'm just wanting to end up trying to end up figuring out what the hell to end up doing. Don't have the big brains for it, okay? I get it. John's dumb as a fucking post. I get that.
John. No. On one thing we agree. If you think I like sitting around doing nothing and doing all of this talking, it's exceptionally misnomerous. Because trust me, I'd love nothing more
to get somebody else to go out and handle his shit.
Oh,
and for you to end up being smiling about it.
I'd love to tear his head off myself.
But
Truly,
you can't.
I would. But you're right.
Can't.
I can't. I'm not physically strong enough to do such a thing. Unfortunately, that's just the way of it, that some people aren't built for physicality. And I just so happen to be one of those people. I'm changing it, slowly but surely. But I'm not going to change it in the time that I need to make him disappear. He needs to be gotten rid of now, so unfortunately, I don't get the luxury of wreaking my vengeance with my own 2 hands. And trust me, if you think that doesn't irritate me, then you're very much mistaken.
I don't give a shit if it irritates you. It can irritate you all fucking day. Chicago, I've seen plenty of individuals who are irritated. They still sit there and take it. It's like boiling a frog. You just throw it in a pot of water, then turn up the heat. Frog gets mildly uncomfortable, but by the time it ends up deciding that it wants to end up getting out of the pot, it's already started to have its legs cooked, so it can't get out. So it just sits there and boils to death.
Well, that's why I'm mobilizing as I am now.
Really?
Make sure that doesn't happen.
Let me put it to you this way. If those fucks came in here en masse right now, said they just came in here and they decided, you know what? I think I'm going to take out every one of those anarchs in the room. What could you do about it right now?
Well, what could I do about it right now?
You gonna call on your cell phone and hope that the delivery man comes rescue you?
No. And she starts looking around. In this kind of environment, there are many things that would work to my advantage. Doesn't matter whether you're kindred or mortal, people normally don't like the lighting rigging being dropped on them. I can't fight head on. I don't have the strength for it. But environmental combat? That I can do. Might not kill them all. Might not kill any of them. But any injury that I can deal is better than nothing.
And that's about when Velda starts to wander towards your room.
Having a good time, are we?
Sure, you
Is
can
it
say
that
that.
obvious?
Mm. You both look so frustrated. Damn near constipated, I would even say.
Just being reminded of my inadequacies, that's all.
So, Velda takes a seat, and she looks over them both, and she says, Damien has been spoken to, and he is going to keep his eyes and ears peeled. And hopefully he will be in contact with us. How did things go with Klaus and Castille? I believe their names were?
Clovis
Clovis,
and,
sorry.
Dr. Castile. Castile will also keep his eyes and ears open, and Clovis is... He's either going to keep his eyes and ears open, or he's going to get out of there. And quite frankly, whilst I'm not at liberty to discuss his particular position, given what I know, the latter is more recommended for him.
Now is not the time to clam up, Amber. Why is it recommended?
He and Hugh have some history. Not
That's
pleasant history.
interesting.
Not pleasant history.
Oh.
Yes. Apparently, I've been told that Hugh's sire and he were familiar at one point.
Familiar. How familiar?
From the way he put it, intimately.
Interesting. And Clovis is looking at turning tail and running.
Didn't get too hot and hairy, yes.
That's a
But,
problem. He could be rather
but-
useful in finding out any weaknesses that Hugh might have.
he knows as much as we do on that.
Well, that's a pain in the ass.
Good at the mind games. Good at making people paranoid. Not very good at hiding. Very sharp senses.
Wait. No, never mind. I've lost it. Did you know our little friend Fox used to be a chemistry major?
No, I did not. Then again, I haven't really had the time to sit down and have a talk with Fox.
Yes, well, it seems Fox and I have a mutual contact, if you will.
Is that so?
I just needed to check what Fox thought of this contact.
Yes.
And they believe that this person is good on their word, so I will trust that.
Well, it's about as much as we can do right now on that score. But,
Yes.
as far as Dr. Castile is concerned, I talked to him basically about the basics of what was going on and told him to keep his eyes and ears open and to get along with Clovis. See, they're kind of fighting over the same domain.
Well, two heads are better than one in that situation.
Yes.
Perhaps that they should rule it together.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's the case, because we can't... A domain divided is not a thing that we can deal with not a thing that we can deal with right now. But
And I know Isabella is aware.
Yes. That's an odd thing, too.
Hmm.
Dr. Castile said for me to send Isabella his love.
It could very well be that he and Isabella talk.
Yes, but the thing is that how does he know that I know Isabella? Or is he just
Again,
making an assumption?
they could talk, and as far as I can gather, Isabella does not like Toreador.
Yeah. Well, if they're talking...
Then again, that could be a jibe.
It could be a jibe. But I'm not really one to question his motives at the moment. I do also need to go speak with Yuri and got a message for him.
What's
Well, I'll
that?
let you do that.
Oh, just something from Clovis. Tremere things, no doubt. I don't get it, he just said that.
I didn't know that there were other Tremere in here, or they were networking, to be honest with you, so...
Well, as far as
Great.
Tremere are concerned, though, they are the only two that I'm aware of.
That's gonna be fun.
Also, that marking that you gave me, it went nowhere.
Wolf didn't show up.
Yes, well, if things truly are going to the shit where Wolf is concerned, if he's smart, he will keep as far below ground as he can.
It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot at least. Probably scared out of his fucking mind. That or he's a traitor.
I'm betting on the latter. Especially if Hugh has made him an offer he can't ignore. And it seems Rascal was spying for the Camarilla, was he not?
He was.
And wasn't he a Nosferatu as well?
Yes, yes, he was. If
I would
that's
hate
happened,
to think that the Nosferatu have all turned. I don't think they have all, but could very well be that there is a risk.
That actually makes sense. Join us or die. I don't know too much about Bure, but I do know that when he says he's going to get shit done, he's going to get shit done. And he doesn't seem like one for betrayal. So if that's the case...
Bure doesn't seem like one for betrayal. But if he refused to bend, then the only thing left is to break and replace.
That's unsettling.
Now, I need to speak with Batista. But for that, I'll have to make an appointment with her.
Yeah.
And I need to start looking into Elysium location. I have a little spot in mind. But I have somebody that I can talk to about that.
I think that's a good idea. We need a place to meet. Neutral ground.
And John, you seem to be itching for some action.
I'm here. And I'm not here to fuck it up.
You're here,
But
you're clear, get used to it. I'm sorry.
I'm hands off.
yeah. Well. I'll end up heading out then. He stands up. Just shakes his head and starts.
Tell me, did Delgado get in contact with you?
Strangely enough, no. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Seems he wasn't interested in your little proposition.
Yeah, well. I'm sure there's others who prefer my services anyway. If you think that end up still watching swan dives is what I do best, you ain't seen nothing yet.
That was quite a clever little play that you made.
You haven't seen clever. But I appreciate one who understands my work.
Although it could make things a little bit more difficult in the long run. Pushing buttons is not always a good way to go about things.
Maybe. But I'll end up taking anger over apathy any day.
Fair.
So, do you say it's better to burn out than to fade away?
No offense, but coming from you two, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't. But please tell me, John.
Tell you what. You just sit in the pen waiting to die. Maybe, constantly end up making sure that your own don't just throw you under the goddamn bus because everybody wants a ticket to the table. Or maybe we should have a nice little kumbaya. Huh? I don't know, are we gonna organize a safe space next? I don't know, pass the pillow, talk about each other's feelings.
Well, if that's the way you think things are going.
That's exactly what I think things are going like. And
So
I
your
have not
suggestion
been
is
proven
just to
wrong.
run in head first and set a fire and hope that that takes everything out.
At this point, it ain't a good plan, but it's a plan.
That's true.
It's about then, John, you get a beep on your phone.
Ah, fuck. God damn it. Russell, what the fuck did you get me into this time? Alright. Take care of yourselves. Try not to end up burning anything without me. And hopefully everything goes nice and smoothly. Excuse me, I gotta see a man about a fucking car.
Have fun, John.
God damn it.
You'll be first
I'll call you
invited
when
to
we
the
need to
bonfire.
burn things.
And with that, John leaves.
Ah. Wonderful.
Amber's gonna be silent for a little bit. And after a few moments, after she's definitely sure that John's left. Oh, I really hope that all Sombra aren't like this.
Really? Honestly, where he's concerned, I'm not too worried. He's trying to make himself comfortable the same as we are. He just has a different way of going about things, and that's not always bad.
Well, he's eager to get things done, which I can understand.
Exactly right.
We've been toddling along for a while. Things have just
No,
been
Amber.
going on.
You've been toddling along for a while. I don't think I've had a single night here where I haven't been doing something.
To be fair, I've been doing things every night, as far as that's concerned. It's not like I haven't been moving, it's just progress hasn't been as forthcoming. So
Well, it's time to pick up the pace. Damien has said that he is talking to his neighbors, or implied that he was, and I have encouraged him to do as such.
Yes.
We will set up a spider's web, and then pounce when he makes a move.
Yes. Spread the word so that Hugh has nowhere to hide.
Wolf makes me worried. Also makes me worried that Hugh simply let us go. Whether that was whether that was him setting his own trap or him missing a cue, beyond me. It's hard to get in the head of a Malkavian.
I spoke to Clovis on this, and I was wondering the same thing. Why was I let go? He could have killed me right then and there, but he let me go. Why? And
More to the
Clovis...
point, he let me talk and never struck me, which was strange.
Be the nature of him that he's not wanting to strike first. Not wanting to strike without provocation.
I perfectly provoked him enough with my words. No. He told me not to return, but maybe having a chat with him might be in order.
I'm not going back there.
Scared.
You want the truth, Velda?
Go.
A little.
I'm listening.
A little, yeah.
Fear is a warning, but it does little more than get in the way.
Yes, but then again, you weren't the one hit in the face, so...
I wasn't the one hit in the face. Mind you, I wasn't also the one that drew a knife and held it to his throat.
Yeah, intimidation tactics didn't go anywhere near as well as I wanted them to. But, you know, that's my fault.
His personality is not one to be intimidated.
Well, it's not like you could persuade him of anything.
I'm not so sure of that.
I mean... If you really want to try again, then...
Simply on the table. But as for now, she pulls out her phone and she messages through to her contact within her contact for real estate. And she's...
It is
she says
also
she's looking
super
for a
late in the
place.
super late in the evening. So
Yep.
Probably won't get an answer tonight. But...
Yeah, she just sends her through a message saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a place," and sends through the specs that she's looking for.
okay.
And she says, "And I also need to get in contact with Batista." Which,
You want to talk to Randy then?
yes,
Randy?
I will.
Is that the name of Batista's school? The one that I may add a character. I may have got the name wrong, but
You're thinking of Jaden.
Jaden. That's it. Yes, Jaden. You want to get in contact with Jaden?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Emma said, because she would have known the right name, but I screwed it up.
And it might be an idea to get a little bit more in contact with the Nosferatu, if possible.
Yeah.
That's something to be thought of. Damien did raise an interesting point that perhaps we should talk to the North. I've been avoiding that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Gabe had one of those faces that only a mother could love, and I'm no mother.
Oh. Don't. Oh.
Self-control, Amber. Self-control.
Yeah. Just. Oh.
You're telling me I had to look at it.
On that note, I would like us to zoom out for a moment. We zoom in to Baron Delgado, overlooking some work, getting some frustration out. When there's a knock on his door, the creaking, it opens. He looks to the individual who's opening the door, but he sees that it's Alexander, flopped on the ground. And in that moment, Baron Delgado no longer is rushed, attacked, with only the words, "Jameson says thank you," or "you're welcome." And that is where we will end the session for tonight.
Fuck!
Fuck! Ah!
So this means that Russell is not going to fix my car tonight?
Oh.
Velda fucking called it. Velda fucking called it.
Jameson. God fucking damn it, you piece of shit, Victor Jameson. Why?
It may not actually be Jameson, though. That's the thing. They may be masquerading it as Jameson because Jameson's disappeared off the board.
We'll have to find out.
Oh my god.
We will have to find out. I don't think
We'll have
anybody
to find
spent
out.
willpower, did they?
No. Oh,
I have
John did.
2.
Okay.
To spend willpower.
Did you fulfill your desire today to recover?
I believe I just did.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Alright, so that's that. Is there any stains? I don't think there are stains to be had.
I don't think there are any stains.
Perfect. Then, it is on to experience. So, we get one for everybody. Every character that came out to play.
Yay!
And then we have the individual categories, like we do in Detroit. So, who moved our plot?
It's a toss-up between Velda and Amber.
Oh, Velda was the one who wanted to go and meet Delgado in the first place. So I'm gonna give it to Velda.
Yay.
Okay, Velda takes plot mover. Best scene.
That's
I really liked when John and Amber were talking.
Yeah. In the thing is just like, you're just happy sitting on your ass. Like, no, I'm not happy sitting on my ass. If I fucking could, I would go ahead and rip this guy's head clean off with my bare fucking hands. But the truth of the matter is, that ain't realistic.
I also really liked when John was poking at Delgado.
Mm.
Yeah.
John is he has enough dots in etiquette so he knows what should be expected of him. Does not mean he has to.
Nope.
Yeah.
He is 100% his own man, and he is going to tell you like it is.
Yeah, I think best scene to John.
Yep.
I can't decide
Thank
between the two, but best scene definitely to John tonight.
Yay.
Perfect. Best line.
I want to rip out his spine through his ass.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to rip out his spine through his arse. If it's not that, then if it's not that, then it would be if you think I like sitting on my ass, then you're very much mistaken.
Lots of ass lines.
Yep, definitely lots of
He's
ass
an
lines.
ass man.
Yeah, I figured John would be an ass man.
So is it a toss-up? Is it a high or
It's
low?
kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, it's a toss-up, so I'll...
Yeah.
Do we want a high or low?
High. High clan high.
Yep, high clan high. Yes.
Boo,
Oh, whammies.
whammy.
Ew.
Nobody gets it.
Yeah, well.
Ripped.
Well, I don't. If the chat wants to throw in some votes, we'll go ahead and take some of those too. However, it doesn't look like chat's been active for a little while, so oh well. But yeah, that is episode 16 of San Antonio by Night.
Nice.
What did you guys think? Any expenditures of that XP?
He's dead.
That ending.
He's dead.
He dead.
Oh,
God. As soon as we find out, it's gonna be like, we need to fucking scramble. Like, scramble now. Because if we stay still for even a second, we're all gonna die, man. We're all gonna die.
You know what worries me? If it is Jameson, who takes the domain?
Yeah, we're gonna need to flee.
See, my worry is that it's not Jameson. It's just been framed as Jameson. Because Jameson's kind of gone below ground as well.
Jameson's not gone to ground. He's busy.
Oh, he's busy?
Busy.
What do you think he's been busy doing?
Yeah.
And, well, if you're right, like, if it was Camarilla, why haven't they done it earlier?
Yeah.
So, my first thought, maybe Batista?
Maybe.
I'm just trying to think of the why. Like, just assuming that it is a red herring.
Yeah, it's making that assumption. I don't know. Ooh.
Well, you'll have a
This
whole
is gonna
week to
be
think
shit.
about it.
This is gonna be shit.
Because we will pick up the following night.
Yes. Now, my thought is, do I spend XP now or do I bank?
What is your possibility for expenditures?
My possibility is politics 1.
It's never a bad one.
Because I have been politicking, but I'm also saving up for a discipline 2.
I just need one more experience.
Whether it be celerity 2 or auspex 2, I don't know yet.
I'm going for my second dot in auspex. I just need one more experience.
I'm gonna pick my third dot in Oblivion.
Nice.
Ooh.
Specifically,
Oblivion.
Touch of Oblivion.
Touch of Oblivion.
you're gonna destroy organs and eyeballs and stuff. Fear the darkness.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Any Oblivion power that requires a rouse is a stain, right?
No,
if
it's
you roll
anytime.
a 10 or a 1.
Yeah, 10 or a 1. So it's a 1 in 5 chance of accruing a stain when you use it.
Oh, okay, so it's a D10 roll. Okay.
Yep. So it's whenever you make
on
any
the rouse
check.
check. Okay.
On the rouse check, if you get a 10 or a 1, it's a stain.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
As the power of Oblivion eats away at your soul. That's why rouse re-rolling is really, really, really good for La Sombra. So that, especially Oblivion using La Sombra, because then you can re-roll it.
Raphael Morty, that just or
Raffamonte.
Raffamonte
Yeah.
for the follow. Thank you so much for following. Here at the tail end of the 16th episode of season 2 of San Antonio by Night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, in case you haven't read through it recently here at CoffeeCat, I'm just going to give you a Touch of Oblivion, okay?
Okay.
The vampire using Touch of Oblivion channels the power through their vitae. When they make a physical contact with the victim, the annihilating elements run through the vampire and into the prey like an electric current, except the effect is to physically wither the target area. Effective on any part of the body, the touch shrinks and shortens muscles, snaps tendons, and makes bones brittle, effectively aging the affected part catastrophically. Its main use is in limb withering, choking a throat, or blinding a pair of eyes. Following a rouse check, the vampire grips the victim, requiring a strength plus brawl roll if the victim is trying to avoid the vampire, with the victim suffering 2 levels of aggravated damage as well as crippling injury. If this injury is afflicted on an arm and a leg, the targeted limb is rendered crippled and will, in the case of mortals, require lengthy rehabilitation, while vampires can mend it with regular damage as regular. Aggravated damage. Likewise, Touch of Oblivion may render a target mute, deaf, or blind. See Crippling Injuries in the core book for details on the mechanical effects of limbs. Storyteller may decide such mutilations warrant stains.
Fair enough.
But I mean, it's not like John really cares about the well-being of people.
To be fair, you know pretty much jack and or shit about him.
Shit about John, yeah.
You guys don't know anything about him.
From what I've seen, at the very least, he's not afraid to do whatever it takes to get stuff done. And if that involves mutilation or defenestration of poor girls, then it involves the mutilation and or defenestration of poor little girls. I think that's more what I meant, to not stick my foot in my mouth. But that's the other thing that I'm really curious about with Oblivion 2 is that they get a thing.
I'm gonna have to just say goodbye right now. So, you guys take care of yourselves, all right?
Okay, we're about to get off the stream anyway. So,
good night, everybody.
Yes, good night, everybody.
Yes, we are going to cut off the stream here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you enjoyed the session. Good night, everyone.
Good night.